Here's how you can invest in stocks as a beginner. Starting off, before you can even invest, I'd suggest building an emergency fund, specifically 3 to 6 months of an emergency fund, because you do not want to be having $500, let's say 500, 1,000, $2,000 in investing, and you don't have anything saved up. And let's say an emergency comes up with your car, with your children, you want to be protected. So I suggest before investing, build a 3 to 6 month emergency fund. Now, obviously, a 3 to 6 month emergency fund may vary depending on the situation and the person. Let's say you're single, you don't have any kids, and you live by yourself. So an emergency fund might be different for you. Let's say it might be $2,000. While on the other hand, a person who has 3 kids, is married, their emergency fund might be $5,000 to $8,000. It all depends on your situation. So just adjust to that. Step two, this really should have been number one. If you have any debt, any sort of debt, like credit card debt, student loan debt, car debt, pay that debt off before you start investing, because yes, the market can yield you 10 to 20% returns depending on the stock or ETF that you pick, but your debt will, like, it will not be good because your debt will probably accrue interest of 8 to 10%. So what are we really doing here? You're not going to really be winning. Pay off your credit card debt because that accrues interest. It gets bigger and bigger and it does not stop getting bigger. So pay off your credit card debt, student loan debt, car debt before you start investing. Now that you paid off your credit card debt and you build up a 3 to 6 month emergency fund, now we could actually start investing. Now, the first step of investing is picking your brokerage account. This is essentially where you want to eat. It's like saying, oh, do you want to go to McDonald's, Burger King, or In-N-Out? That is what a brokerage account is to investing. Brokerages accounts that I would suggest would be number one, Vanguard, number two, Fidelity, and number three, Robinhood. Now, you may ask, why? Why these three accounts? Now, I only go off what I know. I personally have a Robinhood account and a Vanguard account, so I'm going off what I know. Obviously, there are better brokerage accounts for your specific needs. You just have to look it up and go from there. Once you've picked the brokerage account of your choosing, you simply just need to sign up. Now, this sign up process typically takes around 3 to 6 minutes. When you sign up on the account page, it should say how long it is, but it should be around 3 to 6 minutes. It's not long, it's very basic information like what's your name, where's your residence, how much do you make a year, your employer record, that sort of stuff. And if you're, and most importantly, if you're a US citizen, you cannot invest if you're not a US citizen. So take that into account. Now, once you've signed up, you have to pick an account type. Now, most people pick a Roth IRA, that is a sort of a retirement account. It is similar to a 401k, but this time there's no employer match and you invest in your own stocks you're choosing instead of, let's say, a company, the company that you're working for stock. You can either pick a Roth IRA or you can pick a taxable brokerage account. A taxable brokerage account is essentially a Roth IRA, similarly, kinda, but this account type has no restrictions to whereas Roth IRA has a contribution limit of 7,500 each year. So if you want to invest in a retirement account, pick the Roth IRA. If you want to invest in a traditional account where there are no annual limits, pick a traditional brokerage account, a taxable brokerage account. Now that you've signed up and you've picked the account type, now this is the best part. We're gonna start investing. Now for beginners, since you're just starting out, I'd select ETFs only. Do not get into individual stocks. Yes, ETFs are volatile, but individual stocks are way more volatile and way more riskier. So let's go with ETFs as a beginner. Now, you may be asking, what's an ETF? So, an ETF is a basket full of stocks. So, let's imagine you are interested in buying the individual stocks of Amazon, Google, Tesla. Yes, you can buy the individual stocks, but I would not suggest that. So, let's say you want to buy all those three stocks, but you want to be a little safer about it. You would pick the S&P 500 VOO. Now, you may be asking, why would I pick this ETF instead of the individual companies? Well, it's because the ETF holds all three of these companies and 497 more companies. They hold the top 500 United States companies. So you're getting well diversification and you're getting the top companies, mid cap, large caps, you're getting all of those companies. Now, five ETFs I believe every beginner should at least be taking a look at. Number one would be VTI. You get small, mid cap, and large cap companies. This is a great ETF for beginners because it removes all the headache, all the noise of wanting to invest. Number two, VXUX. You get an international market along with the US market, and that is great for diversification. Number three would be VOO. Obviously, I just mentioned that. It's classic, it's standard, it has great returns, and it gets the job done. Number four would be VGT. Now, this is for someone who is looking for more growth heavy ETFs. Growth meaning you'll see larger returns, but also greater downfalls because there is more volatile. It is more bigger risk. but it's another great ETF for someone to be looking at. Number 5 would be QQQ. This is similar to VGT and the S&P 500 VOO, but I believe it's another great ETF that you should be looking at. Now, if you're looking for individual stocks, on the other hand, as a beginner, I only suggest one really because I don't really invest in individual stocks myself. That being Amazon. Now, Amazon, yes, they are down a lot right now on their stock, but I also believe that is a great opportunity for a beginner like yourself to get in the market at a discounted price. About 2 to 3 weeks ago, the Amazon stock stood at $240, I believe. Right now, I believe it is at $200. Don't jump on me. I haven't checked in a week, but I believe it's at $200. That is a $40 discount. Now, that is great if you're trying to jump in at a discounted rate because let's say that stock goes up by itself and you bought 3 shares. 3 shares would be $600. You would have made $120 if it just simply rebounded up to its original price. So take a look at Amazon if you're a beginner. Now that you invested, you selected your account type, and you know what stocks and ETFs you want to invest in. Now, this is the good part here. Now we build a plan. With a plan, obviously has to be consistent. Without consistency, a plan will fail. And it also has to be logical. If you make $2,000 a month, you don't want to invest 1,000. You know what I'm trying to say? So let's say, for example, you make $2,000 a month and you want to invest. Let's start off with $200. And then if you feel comfortable, then you can raise it up to 300. Go off of what you feel comfortable at the moment and what's logical. Do not go off your emotion. Be like, oh, I want to get rich quick. I want to have the most money invested in a 10-month span. No, be logical about it and be rational. Make smart decisions. Now, those are 6 things you need to know before you invest or currently investing you want to improve. I hope to see y'all next time. I'm trying to start out on finances. I also made other videos. If you want to check out how I beat my gambling addiction, watch this video right here or right here. I'm not sure where it will be, but stay tuned for future videos. I hope to see y'all next time.